Here we have the Calamu Data Harbor console. This is a quick brief on what you can do here. For this demonstration, we're looking at the Vault section. For this particular vault, it consists of 3 active storage locations, one in Azure, one in GCP, and one in AWS. We have a 4th location in Wasabi that is not currently being used, and will be our recovery or self-healing location after we simulate a cyber attack on the AWS bucket. Over here on the right is a virtual representation of the data that is currently being protected by this particular vault. Let's double-click on one of these files. This file is currently being assembled based on the data that is in those 3 buckets, as you can see created on the fly. Here is the actual AWS bucket. This is the digital sludge. 0 value, 0 usable content. We are going to simulate a cyber attack on the AWS bucket. Calamu will immediately detect an anomaly, and this will trigger an anomaly detection alert. The problem has been detected, and we see the AWS bucket is impacted. The AWS bucket will immediately be taken offline and sequestered from the data harbor. When we go back over here and refresh our impacted bucket, all files now have .encrypt added to the name. The content of these files are encrypted by the attacker and are now entirely different. Even if an attacker wanted to take this data and try to decrypt later, there is no usable data for them to access. However, if we look at the vault, we still see all of the original files. When we double-click, they will show we have operational continuity. That file is still recoverable and fully available. This shows how Calamu has maintained 100% data availability before, after, and during the attack. Now the system is performing the self-healing process by replacing the AWS storage bucket with Wasabi. This shows the full data resilience capability of Calamu. When we return to the vault, we see that it is green, and Wasabi is now present instead of the AWS Prod 5 bucket. The data harbor is now back to the original, steady state. In this demo, we showed how Calamu data security software is a whole new way to get real, active data security. Calamu makes your data breach-proof, resilient, self-healing, and useless to attackers, while providing compliance and consistency across your storage environments.